Imagine you are just out on your daily late night jog, and moments later, a person jumps out of nowhere right in front of you, holding a loaded gun, and says, "Give me your money." Well, you have just fallen victim to a mugging. When you have not had the time to react, all you can hear is bang. Next minute, you're walking up the stairs to heaven. Gun related deaths are not uncommon occurrences. Stated from a website called Gun Deaths by Country 2020, it says that around 2016, more than about 250,000 people died from firearms worldwide. About 64% of those deaths were from homicides, 27% to suicides, and 9% to accidental injuries from firearms. Gun control is a set of laws that regulate and prohibit the use, manufacturing, transfer, possession, and modification of firearms. Some of you may have possession over a firearm, or a family member does, in which shows that they could be against gun control. During my speech, you will be able to learn what the world will look like without gun control, and if we were to have gun control, and finally, the benefits of having it through the evidence that I will be using to support my part in gun control, therefore shows that I am for gun control. I will first discuss what it would look like to not have gun control present in the world. Second, I will explain what it would look like if we had gun control and if we were to enforce it. Finally, the benefits on having gun control. And after listening to my speech, I hope that you will be for gun control and not against it. There are different types of gun laws that are present in the world, and all have different age requirements to carry and purchase a weapon. But we will only go through Washington's gun law. And the website called www.refinery29.com shows that in Washington, the legal age to buy a gun is 21 and 18 to possess, but with restrictions. Now imagine if that law were to be gone. Chaos were to be present. All ages are able to get their hands on guns, and we would be a national crisis. With people killing each other, accidents happening involving those weapons, and many more. On October 7th, 2017, an article called Las Vegas Shooting, Who is Stephen Paddock by Al Jazeera goes into depth about one of the biggest mass shootings in the world. Al Jazeera goes on to say, nearly 60 people have been killed and almost 500 others injured during a mass shooting at a country music concert in Las Vegas, the famous gambling city in the US state of Nevada. This just shows the tragic event that occurred on the day of the incident. If gun laws weren't present in the world, these types of mass shootings would occur more frequently, considering that there won't be any laws prohibiting the use of weapons. Not only would mass shootings be more present, laws such as safe storage requirement made to protect children and minors from accessing weapons would be gone. And many more laws would be too. Not only that, the death tolls would increase because there won't be any laws enforcing the use of them. Now that I have told you what it would look like if we had no gun laws and haven't enforced it, I will now explain what it would look like if we were to have gun laws and have enforced them. As I said, I am for gun control, which means I want stricter gun laws, in which prohibiting minors from ever getting their hands on a weapon below the required age to have one. According to a website called www.altius.com, it explains that if we were to have more stricter gun laws, it would help reduce the rates of murder caused by firearms. For example, in 2010, 12,996 people were murdered in the United States, and 8,775 of those deaths were due to firearms. These shocking statistics not only prove that violence from the misuse and abuse of gun privileges are a leading cause of death in this country. Not only will it help reduce rates of murder, gun control and stricter gun laws will, according to an Altius in the title called Security as Priority Over Freedom, states that stricter gun laws helps to ensure that criminals, mentally ill individuals, or terrorists who pose a threat to national security will not obtain and misuse a firearm. It also prevents children and minors from ever getting their hands on unsecured firearms. According to an article called The Need for New Gun Control Restrictions by One World Education, says that at least 100 children were killed in unintentional shootings from December 2012 to December 2013. 70% of those cases would have been prevented if the firearm had been stored, locked, and unloaded. Many children were killed due to improper storage and the easy accessibility of weapons. Furthermore, it states that mass shootings could have been prevented if procedures were taken lightly in. It states that several mass shootings could have been prevented if millions of records in the federal background check system were provided by state and local agencies to provide private gun sellers. Now that I have showed you what it would look like with or without gun control, let's now show the benefits in gun control. There would be less mass shootings, less murders involving firearms, less accidental deaths involving unconcealed firearms, less convicted felons and people with mental illnesses and disabilities having a firearm, and many more. Now that I have educated you a bit on gun control, as of now, gun laws have been strict in some places around the world, but not everywhere. I want you to try and make a change. If you have or know someone who has an unconcealed firearm, conceal it immediately to prevent anyone from getting hurt or even worse, killed. Educate family members in how to handle a weapon safely. Go on strikes encouraging the government to make stricter gun laws. Make your voice be heard. A change is not going to happen if you don't do anything about it. Anything helps to get the word out there involving gun control. Now that I have reviewed what it would look like to have gun control and what it would have looked like if we didn't have gun control, and finally the benefits in having it, I hope to have changed your views on gun control and possibly made you for it than against it. Thank you for your time and listening to my speech.